Okay, I'm going to be critiquing some more desensitizing. So I was desensitizing above Winslow, so it was just like off to the side and then up over his head here. So like that. Again, starting at a really high, like pretty high intensity here. Probably could have done quite a bit less, just, you know, lifting the stick and then gently letting it fall down behind me. Doesn't need to be quite this intense. He doesn't look super worried, but he's not really engaging with me either. So high head and neck, ears back, face tense, nose tight, like pretty typical example of a horse that's a little bit tense. Not like he seems okay. Watch this type of horse because this can really start to escalate from this point. So you could get more tightness and then you could start getting movement away from it or back or something like that. So at this point in time, I'm stopping because he's blinking, which may be him relaxing slightly. It might just be him just blinking. So I would be really careful with that. I definitely would want to just, again, apply the pressure at a lower level and then build up from there, and probably at a greater distance away from him, if possible, if I was going to do this some more. But yeah, see his neck go right up as soon as I start applying the sound here. Um, but that's the typical facial expression of a horse that could be worried. I would just watch that one because that's one that people can really overlook, and he could start increasing his fear from this point. So, but going along with all the other training that I've done, he's kind of gotten into the habit of, okay, if he hears something scary like this, it's to just kind of go into himself, like go internal and just kind of pretend it's not there. And I explained before how I taught him to do that essentially in the very first couple lessons where I was desensitizing him with the stick or the rope, and he tried all these other behaviors and they didn't work. What did work to get rid of the scary stimulus was for him to stop and not respond. So a horse that like this could easily look like, oh, look at, he's going to take a nap, he's quiet, he's whatever, but he could explode really at any moment. And if a person doesn't understand that this body language could very easily start becoming something more intense, then that's where you do get those behaviors that, come out of nowhere when really it didn't. It The horse was worried already. So then I also desensitized in front of him, which I don't do either of these exercises anymore. They're really not necessary. I do very little desensitizing at all, with a stick or a whip or anything like that, because it's just not really necessary. Again, he's got more of his ears back and more like a higher head carriage here than he did before, and it's just because this is in front of him, so he's probably just trying to get his head away from this so I don't like hit him in the face. But same body positioning here as he had before. He's just kind of sitting there waiting for it to go away. So you got to be really careful with that stuff. And that's why, again, you could do this all day long. You could do this every day, and you could still get a horse that's spooking at things. They don't necessarily learn, okay, well, when my owner swings this whip in front of me, if a bird flies out of a bush, oh, I won't be scared of it. That's not how horses work. So really the biggest thing I think in getting a horse like desensitized is building trust in that horse with you, to where they trust you in those scary circumstances and they know that you're not going to scare them, you're not going to hurt them, you're not going to make it worse. That's really the key there, because they trust you, and they're, if you're out on a trail ride and a bird flies out, they're like, okay, well, I'm fine because I'm with this person that I trust.